Hello there, just making this video real quick while I have time. One of the most insane astral projection experiences of my entire life happened last night. I was cycling my Kundalini charge, and then this is really crazy, is I stayed lucid up into the exact, fully lucid while I blasted. So I felt my torus implode with the Kundalini energy. I was so electrically conductive. It was really insane sensations. And then it was like, ugh, and it just fucking imploded. And then once that happened, I shot into the astral, but I was still laying in bed, but in the astral realm in my body. And there was someone holding my left shoulder down and someone holding my right shoulder down. So I blasted into this situation where some people were holding my shoulders down. Two people, two entities. It gets crazier. So I fought with them to release me. I even went into a emotional state of gratitude to try to transcend out of them. I just flew up and then held gratitude, but they were extremely powerful and they just held me down really hard. And I was finally freed my arms and was trying to grab them off of me. And I struggled with the one on my left shoulder, and I finally grabbed his hands. And that's the crazy part, is there were hands and arms. I got the one on the left off of me. When I did, I went to the one on the right, and it was fucking crazy, dude. I felt his hands in detail. I felt his fingers. And I grabbed his hand that was on me and just started twisting and wrenching as hard as I could. And I finally twisted him enough to where he released me, and we ended up standing up in my room in the astral together as I detained him and twisted his wrist behind his back. I then picked him up while still holding him with his arms behind his back, walked over to the door by the light switch and slammed his head against the light switch. When I did this, the light turned on. When the light turned on, he turned around and looked back at me in the face, in the eyes, and it was just the most insane shit ever. This was a fucking man. It was a real man, maybe around 35 years old, brown hair, and stubble on the face. He had one of those Sandlot shirts on, those baseball pajama shirts. It was blue arms with white in the center. And the look he gave me, the look on his face of shock and fear as he turned and looked up at me. And I just can't even explain to you how detailed this situation was. It was as detailed as this right here. It was as lucid as this right here. He 100 million %, I know for a fact that was a real guy that was projecting at me from somewhere else. Meaning, I believe he works for some group or some agency or some black ops shit or some CIA shit, and he had projected to me because they watch me. They've watched this whole process. I've been abducted before, all of it. And waited for me to blast off to then fuck with me. I don't know what the purpose is, to put fear into me, to get me to not travel around, to get me to stop me, to hinder me. This motherfucker was a real dude. I stared him in the face. He was not expecting what happened. And it's just so crazy, man. I laid there for an hour just thinking about it, oh my God. Well, another insane experience that I'm just going to digest and go about my fucking daily life like everything's normal tomorrow. But that's why I share this shit, because it's therapeutic for me. But it's not going to stop me if that's their goal. It's not going to stop me. I'm spiritually evolving nonstop. It's been an upward ascent since I began this process, and I'm getting better and better at harnessing Kundalini energy and prana and imploding my aura and traveling. And I'm going to continue to do so, and they're not going to stop me. And if anything, this is just teaching me. I'm being fueled by this. I'm growing. mentally, physically, and spiritually. But that was fucking crazy. And I swear to God, this guy was in a base somewhere, underground or in a facility with his 3D body, probably laying in a bed and projected towards me because that's his job, to fuck with me. And if you don't believe me, look up the CIA remote viewing experiments. Like, none of this is fucking a conspiracy theory or hidden. You cannot tell me that there are not astral agents out there. You cannot tell me that. I just have too much experience, dude. Too much experience. And it's weird how they always send two after me. It's always two guys. But I don't know. I pulled the one off my left shoulder and he just pieced the fuck out. And then the one on the right tried his hardest to stay there and hold me down. But I twisted his fucking arm and his wrist and bashed his fucking head against the light switch and exposed him. He was not expecting that, dude. I'm probably the first one that's fought back like that. But yeah, I wouldn't even doubt it for one fucking second. You don't think the government and Black Ops projects in the government knows about the starseeds that came here and that are teaching light body activation and raising the consciousness and vibration of humanity? You don't think they're going to want to fucking stop that? Of course they are. They probably find us on social media with what we're sharing, the Great Awakening shit. If we're anti-fucking the Great Reset or whatever, they're like, oh, and then they start monitoring us, and then they fucking project and fuck with us. You know what I mean? Because they can't do it in 3D yet. They need to take our First and Second Amendment away before they do that. But you can't tell me you can't fucking tell me that shit isn't real, because I'm experiencing it. Anyway, I love you all. No fear. Stay up, baby. Stay fractal.